Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Women Winning Wednesdays. I am Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning attorney. I'm the host of the show, and I'm the owner of the law offices of Elsa W. Smith. We serve the state of Maryland and the District of Columbia in all things estate planning related. I'm thrilled that you're joining me today because we have a lot of good information to share with you today. But I wanted first to let you know that this show, Women Winning Wednesdays, the purpose of it is to share educational content and interviews with guests to illustrate what an empowered woman is and the tools that she needs to win. A bit of housekeeping. This is being streamed via StreamYard onto YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course, Facebook. Make sure that you give StreamYard permission for us to view your comments. And you can do that by going to streamyard.com/Facebook. So, as I said, we've got a lot to cover today. So I want to give you a roadmap. First, we're going to talk about briefly how we came to celebrate this week. And as if you follow me on social media, you know that this week is National Estate Planning Awareness Week. Then I'm going to share a few facts, important facts about estate planning and women. And then I will share the methods, the ways that you can jumpstart your estate planning process. And there are 7 steps to do that. So like I said, we've got a lot to cover. So let's dive right in. Again, I'm really glad that you're joining us. And oh, by the way, if you catch this on the replay, please put hashtag replay in the comments. And if you're on right now, let us know where you are watching from. Okay? All right, let's get into it. Did you know that the third week of October is National Estate Planning Awareness Week? In 2008, for you folks that want to know the background, Congress recognized the need for the public to understand the importance of estate planning and officially designated that third week of October as National Estate Planning Awareness Week. And it runs from October 18th through the 24th. And it's a public campaign to help us understand why an estate plan is so essential to our financial wellness. Now, why do people skip estate planning? Honestly, some find the topic a bit uncomfortable to think about or discuss, or they may mistakenly think that wills and trusts are only for the super wealthy. But if you have any assets at all or have loved ones who depend on you, it's a good idea to have an estate plan in place. So now let's talk about estate planning in women. And I want to share some really important facts that's going to help frame the discussion about how to get your estate plan going, particularly as it pertains to women. So first fact, women tend to live longer than men. Those of you who follow me on social media, this won't be a surprise to you because I have posted about it. I have included that factoid in videos that I've done. Women live an average of 4.9 years longer than men. That means that women need their assets to last longer than men do. It also means that wives are probably going to outlive their husbands. So they'll likely inherit their husband's estates. And they will then probably have the last word about the final disposition of assets going to the couple's heirs. All right. The second fact regarding estate planning and women are that most custodial parents are women. Approximately 84% of custodial parents are women. Women who are parents of young children really need to plan for the continued care of those children if something unforeseen should happen. They also need to determine who will handle the children's property until they get older, right? And the third fact in this category, women are business owners, yours truly included. According to a 2019 State of Women-Owned Business study that was commissioned by American Express, more than 11.6 million firms are owned by women, employing nearly 9 million people and generating, get this, 1.7 trillion in sales as of 2017. Women-owned firms account for 39% of all privately held firms and contribute 8% of employment and 4.2% of revenues. I know that's a lot. Those are a lot of stats to throw at you. My stats geeks who are listening will certainly appreciate that. But here are a few more. And this pertains specifically to businesses owned by women of color. All right. 5.4 million firms are a majority owned by women of color in the United States. And those firms employ 2.1 million people and generate 361 billion with a B in revenues annually. And with respect to $1 million businesses, again, we're talking about women and businesses. 1 in 5 firms with revenue of $1 million or more is women owned. Yay. 4.2% of all women-owned firms have revenues of 1 million or more. Okay. And then the last point in this category of women and businesses are that, more women are divorced, or that's the trend, or choose not to marry. As a result, if you are a woman, you'll likely be managing your finances on your own at some point, and you'll be responsible for the ultimate disposition of your wealth, as I mentioned earlier. Now, it's against this backdrop that we're now going to talk about how you can jumpstart your estate plan. Oops. There we go. How you can jumpstart your estate plan. And there are 7 steps or 7 guides, 7 tips that I'm going to highlight each one on the screen as we go by. One thing to note, stay tuned until the end, because there is a free resource that I am going to provide to everyone who's watching. So stay tuned. The first tip on jump-starting your estate plan is to determine your priorities. Okay, what do you want? Is it financial security? Is it to provide for your children? For this step, use a notebook or a journal and write down the first things that come to mind. Those are usually closer to the truth of what you really want. Be honest, and don't be afraid to dream. It's your list of priorities. Okay, I want to share a quote with you by Maya Angelou. And she said, "What is a fear of living?" she asked. "It's being preeminently afraid of dying. It is not doing what you came here to do out of timidity and spinelessness. The antidote is to take full responsibility for yourself, for the time you take up and the space you occupy. If you don't know what you're here to do, then just do some good." That again is by Maya Angelou. Now, this may help in getting your priorities organized. How are you going to take care of yourself? How are you going to take care of your family? And how are you going to take care of your community? So that's in a nutshell, that's how you can start off by determining what your priorities are. Next, make a list of what you own. Now, examples here include the home that you live in, television sets, jewelries, collectibles, vehicles, arts, antiques, computers, laptops, for example. And they'd also include brokerage accounts, 401k plans, IRAs, TSPs. For those of you not in the government, those are thrift savings plans, bank accounts, life insurance policies, and other policies such as long-term care insurance, homeowners insurance, auto, disability, health and health insurance. Okay, include all of those account numbers and list the location of any physical documents that you have in your possession. 3, make a list of the people you trust, and next to their names, note your reasons for trusting them. So why did I include this step? Your estate plan will call for placing people you trust in important roles. The people are known as fiduciaries. A fiduciary typically makes extremely important decisions, as well as handling valuable assets. You must be able to trust a fiduciary unquestionably. So remember, you are not limited to family members when you're coming up with your list of people. Close friends can fill these roles as well. Next, make a list of people or organizations that have significantly impacted your life. Estate planning is an opportunity to, I believe, to be a blessing to charitable organizations that have been a blessing to you, your family, and your community. Did you receive a scholarship from an organization while you were growing up or when you went off to college? Is there a church or a place of worship that you want to help sustain? An estate plan is a great way of you making an impact in that entity's future. And it's also part of your lasting legacy, right? 5, decide what type of emergency and end of life care that you want. How much treatment do you want at the end of your life? Now, this deals mostly with life support measures like CPR, feeding tubes, and breathing machines. I know, uncomfortable subjects. Doctors use life support when some part of your body can't do what it normally does, right? It may ease the pain and keep you alive until you start to heal. But in some cases, that treatment may only lead to a slower death and a lower quality of life. This is also a time to consider organ donation. Very heavy subjects, but it's really important that you are intentional and that you give some thought to how you want to be treated, what kind of care you want in these situations. Then 6, get an accountability partner. A good accountability partner has a responsibility to make sure that we stay on track and notice any blind spots in our self-reflection mirrors. People have accountability partners when they work out, when they're exercising, in business. People have coaches and so forth that all serve as accountability partners, and there's a reason for that. You can, or I should say, in many cases, an individual makes the right decisions when they know that they are answerable to someone else, right? You can mutually agree with this accountability partner for each other, right? And provide feedback to each other. This way, both of you can be beneficial for each other and in helping achieve your goals, which in this case is jumpstarting your respective estate plans, right? And then number 7, set a deadline by which both of you will get your estate plans done. You know, deadlines help you prioritize what you'll work on and for how long. Deadlines push us, right? You need to set a deadline because life is going to get in the way if you let it. And if you don't, both you and your accountability partner will go into next year without getting this done. I can tell you that countless people that I have served, one of the main things that they come into the consultation with is, Attorney Smith, I've been putting this off for so long. I know I've needed to get my estate plan done, but I mean, and not to minimize what they're doing, but the fact is that life does get in the way. So you really need to be intentional, set a deadline, make this a priority, and get it done. Now, as I promised, I have a resource for you. It's the Jumpstart Your Estate Plan in 7 Easy Steps guide. And let me share my screen so you guys can see that. There. That's what it looks like. And you can get it for free. I'll place the link in the comments. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I'll make sure and put the link in the description box. But you can go to my website right now at elsawsmithlaw.com. Go to the resources tab, and there you'll find it. It is absolutely free, and you'll be able to download it same day. So just want to make sure and you all knew of that resource. Always trying to bring you value. And that's just another example of it. So we've covered quite a bit. We talked about why we're celebrating National Estate Planning Awareness Week. We also covered important facts that have to do with women and estate planning and why it's so important for women to really focus, really get on it while we can. Thank you. Thank you, Dee. Good to see you. Yeah, it's so important for women to really get on this and not delay. The resources are free. I also, of course, I started the show by letting you know what I do. I do wills and estate planning in the state of Maryland and in Washington, in the District of Columbia. If you'd want to sit down and have a strategy session, I want to invite you to contact me. Use the resource that I've provided to you to get your head right, to get yourself in the right frame of mind. It's not required, of course, before you have a consultation with me, but I believe that it's really going to help you get your priorities straight. And it's really going to make your conversation with me so much more productive because you're going to be focused. My clients who come in knowing exactly what their legacy, what they want for their legacy, who they want to give assets and other, monies to, and how they want that distributed, how they want their end of life care decisions to be made. Those folks, the process is smooth like butter because they come in, they're intentional, they know what you want, they know what they want. I'm trying to provide you with the same tools so that you can have the same experience. And I really want to urge you to get this done. We're, in Q4 of 2021. Now is really the time. You should not be going into 2022, especially with everything that has gone on in 2020 and carrying over into 2021 without an estate plan. You're basically blowing in the wind. So I want to urge you to contact me if you have any questions whatsoever. By the way, follow me on social media. I try to put out a video at least once a week. Feel free to go to my YouTube channel at Elsa W. Smith Law. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos that I publish each week. There, you'll not only see this video, prior episodes of Women Winning Wednesdays, but you'll also see other videos that I've uploaded. They are free. View them as often as you like and share them with people that you know. I'm building this library to bring you value. And this is really a passion project for me because I believe that at least the pillars of my firm are education and empowerment. You can't have empowerment without educating, and that's what I'm trying to do. And particularly the women who are watching today, please use the resource. Contact me if you have any questions whatsoever. It has really been a pleasure being with you again on this episode of Women Winning Wednesdays. I am Maryland attorney Elsa W. Smith, host of Women Winning Wednesdays, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Be well.